Hello everybody, it's Daniel here, bringing you something a little bit different this week in place of Showdown Sunday. I wanted to make another guide, and this week I want to focus on strategizing Pokemon and making the most out of your team. And to this extent, I actually want to showcase this on random battles. Random battle format, if you've never heard of it before, is basically you have a team of random Pokemon at particular levels based on the Pokemon that you receive and particular sort of movesets that you get. One of the nice things about it though is that it encourages you to experiment a lot with what you've got and basically capitalize on the most out of your Pokemon's capabilities. Now the reason this is actually quite a good tool, outside of just the fun casual battle, like if you don't want to have to worry about a team, it's quite cool. But one of the reasons it's particularly good, oh wait, no, that's not Cosmic Power. One of the reasons that it's particularly good is that it just helps you learn how to strategize a little better. Because typing's a really important thing in Pokemon, and this mode is basically going to help you understand it a hell of a lot better. Now, you might just be looking at this and wondering, it's like, Daniel, you're just playing random battles. I already know my Pokemon types. I have a chart. Why does this help? The reason it helps is that it helps you come up against particular movesets in Pokemon and movesets that you may not otherwise know how to deal with. It's basically battle practice in a way that really puts you on the spot, and that's what makes it so useful as a tool. Because you don't know what you're going to get, you're basically going to be looking at movesets for the very first time more often than not, and just trying to figure out what's good about this Pokemon or what really works. Now sometimes you might get lucky and have something like a stored Cosmic Power Sigilglyph right off the bat, which this guy is probably going to be set to sweep this man's entire team unless he does something. Staying in with this Claydol is kind of abysmal. He's kind of just banking on a crit, but with a bit of luck he's not going to get it, and just to be for safe measure, we're just going to roost up. Like, a stored power even from this range is going to do a hell of a lot of damage. Like, if you consider that's a Claydol, which is like a specially defensive tank, and resistant to hit like that, it's quite impressive. But this is quite a good game mode to play just simply for practice and familiarize yourself with a couple of Pokemon that you might otherwise not know. Because a lot of games in Showdowns like OU can simply be decided upon if you have experience dealing with this Pokemon, and basically this game mode is going to give you a hell of a lot more experience. And it's also quite fun and just carefree in regards that you don't have to worry about building a team or anything like that. You just hop in and play, which is very, very nice. If OU wears away at your soul from time to time, you can take refuge here. But it's very, very good for kind of learning Pokemon's capabilities and just learning how to strategize more. Because a lot of people ask me, it's like, how do I get involved in like competitive Pokemon? Like, I've never played this before, I've only played the games. Battle experience is the number one way that you're going to get there. And it's like, most of the battles that I win come down to not the individual team that I've made, but rather that I just know how to use the guys on it. Like, Whimsicott isn't the strongest of Pokemon, for instance, yet he's one of the strongest ones I use, simply because I have a lot of experience with how to work with him. So it's very, very nice in that regard. Let's just decimate this Quillfish. Oh, it's got a focus sash, my god. Oh, that poor Quillfish. It's just roost up again. I feel very sorry for this man. He doesn't seem to have a dark type or anything. This is the one thing that can happen in random battle, is that if you do get like a setup sweeper like this, you can pretty much just win, like, without much hassle. Because you're going to have a random team, so more often than not, you're not going to have sort of like a wall breaker. But even then, you got to kind of make do with what you have and just sort of like find something that's a bit more of a wall breaker. Like, as you can see here from this Arceus, it's actually managed to live a hit, so maybe you should have gone out into this a little sooner, go with the Judgment. You probably should have done something before I had the chance to like set up so many stored powers under my belt. But it's a learning experience with random battle. Like, you're just trying new things, and it's really, really good for that. And it's just good fun. Like, I love playing these battles just for like a change of pace. But for talking about strategizing now, it is like incredibly useful for just learning that and being exposed to a variety of Pokemon that you otherwise might not see. Like, Carbink is something that you're not really going to see in the OU meta if you're playing that. You might see it in UU a bit more. I'm not entirely sure myself because I don't play that game mode. But either way, you're going to see Pokemon that you don't always see just because of this. And that's really good because you might learn their strengths and weaknesses, and that will always help you if you're in like tight spots. Like, the main thing that's actually really good here is learning all the different speed scenarios that you're going to come up against. Oh, he got the crit! He did it! He broke through it! Oh my god. Finally. Good job, man. You did it. Unfortunately, we might be able to... Got really lucky with crit rolls. I mean, you're the one banking on the crit. It's, if anything, you got lucky with the crit rolls. I'm just saying. Well, what we can do now... We can just go into our trusty Amoongus here. And fire off a Sludge Bomb. But it's good for learning a lot of the speed scenarios, though, which come in, like, very, very handy a lot of the time. Like, working out just, like, what's faster than what. And strengths and weaknesses of each Pokemon, the moves that they have access to are, like, really, really big ones. This is a Fearow here. I don't really have anything that can tank a Fearow too well, unfortunately. That's the flying type move, and it's gonna be bad. It has a Drill Peck. Okay, Alamola actually does it quite well, so that's pretty good. We can just get a Wish under our belt. Yeah, sure, why not? Alamola is actually like a very interesting Pokemon. I've tried using this guy in OU a couple of times, and he's not bad. You can use like the move Soak in combination with Toxic just to inflict poison status on any type of Pokemon, which is quite cool. You have a lot of Pokemon that can say that. Let's see. I could get into this, but I'm not going to be able to do much from there. I think it's better just go back into Amoongus. There we go, Sleep Powder. This is working out very nicely. And it's like, that's something you might not have known, like, if you hadn't seen it. It's like, Lilligant has Sleep Powder. Like, that could be a cool thing to try out. Like, truth be told, I don't know much about Lilligant. But seeing it here just makes me interested in it. And, again, it just exposes you to so much when you play just, like, random formats like this. You'll be learning about Pokemon that you otherwise won't see in the OU meta, which is always a good thing. So let's see, what's he going to do now? We're going to start the timer on this man in case he takes a bit. Looks like he might be concentrating about this one. I'm just going to Sludge Bomb whatever comes out because it will kill the Carbink, it'll nearly kill the Quillfish, and that Fearow won't appreciate it, so why not? Oh, goodbye, oh my god! Haha! There we go! That didn't particularly matter anyway, just because the light screen was about to wear off that turn. Like, we could have easily killed that on the second hit. So, really, not too much to fear. What I'm actually going to do here, I think I can live one hit, so I'm actually just going to stay in and just go for the Stun Spore. It's kind of like predictable that he might go for a return or something like that, just to predicting the Alamola switch. So, getting that off is a really nice advantage. I don't know if Foul Play would do more. I think I'm just gonna stick with Sludge Bomb. I'm not particularly like worried at this stage. But what happens to this guy? He's more than likely to go for the Drill Peck now, though. Actually, no, I'll probably just go for like another return. Yeah. Oh wow, that doesn't even do anything. Well, let's get a Wish up. Why not? And we actually have a turn that we can just like kind of take damage for. See, you can tell that this man's actually like properly trying now. He's like really switching it up and just trying to break through. We're just gonna try and decimate this Lilligant as fast as we possibly can. Quick Sludge Bomb should do a significant chunk of damage to it. Maybe we'll get like lucky with a poison. Okay, well even if it sets up a bit, what do we have? I don't know if Lilligant can actually hit me with much. That's the thing. Executor should be able to live at least one hit. So we'll just go for another Sludge Bomb. I don't think he has access to some form of recovery. And we're just kind of hoping to get the poison off. There you go. If you're staying in, then it's going to happen eventually. And that will kind of just end that sweep right there. Oh wow, check out that pedal dance. Oh my goodness. And that poor Lilligant. We go for the Foul Play just in case he wants to do something else this round. Moongus just tanking things like a champ. But yeah, for strategizing Pokemon, like you're really kind of test it on how you play. Simply put, because you have teams on the fly. Like you need to work out the strengths and weaknesses of everything quite quickly. Oh my god, that poor man. I mean, it doesn't matter too much because we have like 5 things left in our team. But it really kind of tests your abilities, which is like really, really good because this is like a handful of Pokemon that I've never really used before. Winning through sheer luck. No, I'm winning because you're just not doing too well, man. I'm calling your predictions. That's why I'm winning. He's calling me out for sheer luck there, but if you actually look at the plays he made, a lot of them were actually quite terrible. He should not have let the sigil glyph actually set up initially. He should have gone immediately into probably the carbine can set up the light screen and then just start beating it down like the Pharaoh. He shouldn't have let it set up. He shouldn't have gone for the quiver dances on the Lilligant if he only had pedal dance, simply because he knew that I had this Amoonguss still left. He should have tried to take this out with the Pharaoh first. And he completely wasted the Arceus on his team and the Claydol. So although this man says that like winning through sheer luck, what it actually came down to is that he didn't strategize his game plan whatsoever here. And he kind of, like, when he started to make a couple of predictions, they were so predictable predictions that they didn't even help him that much. Like you saw when he was starting to go for returns towards the end, I was just able to like switch out and like tank it like a champ. It's like you can blame the random team element of this for your bad luck when it comes to random battles, but really everyone's being dealt sort of like an uneven hand as it stands. So I really don't think it's actually fair to do that. If anything, you should just kind of like make do with what you have. And just bear in mind that your opponent's not going to be on the strongest of footings either. So saying it's like winning through sheer luck, it's kind of just discrediting both yourself and your opponent. So it's not how you should look at the game mode, because it actually is quite handy. I think he was just a little salty. So here we have a Golurk, and we actually have no guard in this, which is quite interesting. Okay, like, surprisingly good moveset for a Golurk. Like, Ghost Grand typing's a bit weird, but look at this. We can set up with a Rock Polish and just kind of like get some speed under our belt. I'm just going to go with a Dynamic Punch just to start, because I really don't know what this man's going to do. Like, I haven't seen enough of his team yet. Oh my god. Crit Confusion. I mean, that does have a 100% chance to confuse the target, but that crit's kind of unfortunate. I guess it doesn't matter terribly though, because simply because we have the Ice Punch, and a follow-up with that would have killed it anyway. So it actually doesn't matter too much that we got that. So let's see what the good switch in. Yeah, Articuno would be a nice switch in for the Golurk. So predicting the Ice type move, what are we going to do to resist this? We actually have our own Articuno. We could do that. I quite like the look of this Cobalion though, simply because it has Stone Edge. I think that might be better. Oh, that's a crit. Oh, it's okay though. Judging on the damage that did actually. If he doesn't have another strong move to hit us with, then we could just hide behind a sub, but we kind of want to scout first. It would be a bit ballsy to just kind of do that. Oh wow, that really tanked it. And he was predicting something entirely different. Oh my god. Oh, we're done there. Okay. Oh, you should never get discouraged if things like that happen towards the start of the match, because it's like honest mistakes to like make an over prediction like that. Like I can't even count the amount of times that I have made kind of silly looking plays like that. It's not the end of the world though, because like you can tell that he was going for a prediction of some kind. But the thing is, in the random battle format, something you have to consider is that you haven't seen most of the team yet, so predictions like that you shouldn't really be making, because you don't know what the opposing like Pokemon is actually going to do yet. He's got a Mega Kangaskhan. Well, let's just burn that immediately. Wow, that was a crit crunch as well. Oh, but he got the defense drop. Oh my god. That is unfortunate. Wow, so many people are just discouraged sometimes. Okay, well, we'll climb a couple of ranks. And we'll hopefully get to show off the strategizing some more. That man laughed at me as well. It's like, how dare you? It's like, strategizing is quite useful in this, but you do have a handful of people who are just hopping in for like the random fun battles, but if you play it to win it, it's a very useful tool. I have a Sucker Punch on this, and this guy's a Hoopa. I don't think he's gonna know this, so let's just go for it. No! Oh, I mean, he does not want to hit us now. Sucker Punch Sudowoodo. Oh my god, and he fell for it. This is where strategizing is a bit more useful, because I revealed that I had the Sucker Punch. You shouldn't have stayed in on that, man. Oh my god. It's just fun moments like this also makes like random battles so much better. Okay, this guy's got a Mega Beedrill, so this is actually quite problematic. We don't have anything that can resist this thing. Oh god. It's actually gonna hit very, very hard. The best bet is to just go for a Psyshock and just hope we live the X-Scissor. We're just barely gonna live it. We just need to take that down as fast as we can. The crit probably didn't matter there, because Mega Beedrill is very, very frail. Beedrill isn't exactly the bulkiest of things. So that's quite nice. We can save this guy as like a sack later. I don't know what he's gonna want to do that's gonna hit us particularly strong. Sure, we're going to Wormadam. This looks like I might be able to take it somewhat. Okay, Toxic, that's fine. We have a couple of tools that we can use here. We get some Toxic up of our own. Just gonna set up screens. Okay, so it's that kind of Grumpig. Like, the more you know about Grumpig, it's a learning experience. Well, we probably don't want to stay in on this thing, because it's probably just gonna set up something else now. We don't have any setups of our own, which is kind of unfortunate. I guess we can actually go in the Whimsicott here. Oh, that's rather unfortunate. Okay. Oh, let's forget the Whimsicott and go out to a Weavile. Now, we reveal a bit of our team here, which gives them a little bit of an advantage, but it's okay. It's like we can still make do with this. I'm thinking I should probably go for the Pursuit. Oh, he actually stayed in. Oh my god. Okay, well, I definitely should have gone for the knockoff, just considering that. I wonder if knockoff... Oh no, it's Choice Bandit. Never mind. This man has given up immediately. It does not help with learning strategies if you just give up like that. It's like, there's no way to improve. If things go south, you gotta, like, tank it out till the end. It's like, who knows how you'll be able to make a comeback. This is very interesting. This guy's probably gonna just throw off a Leaf Storm on me immediately. It feels weird to sit in a Dodrio on a Rotom like this. Oh my god. Okay, he's just gonna go for the Volt Switch. Okay, well, we now know what kind of set that Rotom's probably running if it has a Volt Switch. I mean, we don't know for certain simply because random battles. But we have a slightly better idea. I'm probably just gonna try and go for a Brave Bird here because I'm not gonna be able to switch out. It's a Dugtrio. Dugtrio versus Dodrio. Which trio will emerge triumphant? What mega do I have, actually? Oh, good. It's neither of these megas. Okay, well, I mean, I have a Deoxys. I do have that Deoxys. That's quite strong. This guy has so much speed. Oh my god. I don't even know if an Aerodactyl will be able to kill it, and I know Stone Edge is quite threatening. I think the best bet is to actually just go straight into Deoxys here. Simply put, we have a lot of power that we can hit the guy with. Let's just go for a Psycho Boost. Oh my god, he has a Sucker Punch. I completely forgot about that. Oh my god. That is unfortunate. But we have Extreme Speed. So there we go. We'll have to just go for that again just to finish off this guy. I mean, that kind of works. See, it's like you'll learn about priorities here. You'll learn that Dugtrio has Sucker Punch. It's really, really good, and this helps with strategizing, because like if you come up with these Pokemon against these Pokemon in the future, you now have a better idea of what to do. I mean, you're probably not going to see too many Deoxys unless you're playing OU. But Dugtrio is definitely a common foe, so that's actually really good information just to have. And I'm probably going to keep this guy around as well. There's no reason to sacrifice him to a Stantler. I'm not really sure what a Stantler even does. It's very rare I've seen this Pokemon. I mean, it's a normal type. I don't know if it'll be able to hit me with too much if I go to my Auroros. Oh, it's got a Sucker Punch again. Okay. Sucker Punch Stantler, who knew? Oh my god, and it's got a Jump Kick. Okay. Freaking Stantler, man. Oh my god. Well, this is kind of terrifying. We need to answer this. Before it gets out of hand. We don't want to be swept by a freaking Stantler of all things. We haven't even got like a particularly good set here. Let's just go for a Stone Edge and hope it doesn't miss. He's still got the freaking Rotom on his team, so he can't go for an EQ. So that's kind of unfortunate. I always thought Aerodactyl got Mold Breaker, but apparently I'm just wrong. Has a nerve. The more you know. Oh, why did you miss? Oh. Okay, well it's okay because he went for the Double Edge. A lot of recoil off on him, and the hail is also chipping away. Like a more bulky Aerodactyl as well, which is like really, really weird. Okay, we're gonna land it this time, no, so that's okay. This is actually shaping up to be quite an interesting match because we're quite even playing fields. So we switch down to Rotom again. So this indicates to me that this is probably a Scarf set. If he sent it out directly on the Aerodactyl. have a Mega Audino. Well, that's what I had. I forgot that this guy had a Mega. It's like the only Gen 5 Pokemon with a Mega Evolution currently. Okay, well, let's just Mega Evolve. I think it gets Pixelate as its ability. So let's just go for that. Oh, that's actually kind of nice they went for the burn, because I'll definitely be able to like take a little more damage now. My special defense gets a massive increase when I Mega Evolve, so this is quite good. Oh no, it's ability healer, okay. But I am normal fairy, I guess, so Hyper Voice is still the correct play. He's just gonna go for a Volt Switch, I mean, that's fine. We'll get some damage in with this Mega. He hasn't revealed any Mega of his own yet, which is quite problematic though. I'm probably gonna have to hope that Deoxys can just deal with it. Extreme speed to sweep up the team. Oh, that's unfortunate. Getting the nice Hyper Voice off though is good. We have to go for a Dazzling with him this turn. He might just kill us off. Maybe he'll forget we're a fairy type. Oh no, he has Poison Jab. He seems to specifically remember that we're a fairy type more than anything. Oh god. Okay, well, I mean, I'm faster with the Houndoom, which is interesting. I'll be able to sweep up with that. A Psycho Boost from this range should be able to kill it. I'm going to actually go back into Aerodactyl simply because I want some more leftovers recovery. I'm trying to think about the late game here. It's going to probably come down to the amount of HP I have, because this Rotom is going to be quite tricky to deal with. So what I'm going to do here is just go into Stone Edge, and if we kill this we'll kill this in one shot and then gain a bit of extra HP, which is quite vital. And another important element of strategizing is just thinking about the late game like this. Like bearing it in the back of your mind and what you're going to come down to. Ooh, that did not deal a lot of damage. That is unfortunate, only 44%. Go for an EQ to vary it up this time. Ah! Okay, well he's gone into a Gligar. We can taunt this. There we go. Because it is a Gligar, it's probably not going to have access to terribly much. Problem is I might have access to EQ. Oh wow, you're actually going to give up the game. You had a really good chance, man. I would not have called it there. Like, that Rotom was still ripe to tear through my team and what I had left. He didn't know my last Pokemon yet, but he had a very solid team. I would not have thrown in the towel there. You need to think about your late game more, man. You actually had that game in the bag, I would say. Which is an important thing to consider with strategizing, I guess. Like, it is hugely important. This is very unfortunate because he's just going to get something to sleep for free. Oh my god. Well, I mean, I have the Bibarel with the Chesto Berry, and I want the Bibarel to be asleep, but it's just going to waste the Chesto Berry, so I feel like I should save that a little bit. I mean, I guess this Grumpig is going to be more utility. We'll have a chance to wake this up later. Sure, let's just get a Reflect off. Why not? He's just gonna go for Seed Bomb. Okay, maybe he doesn't have access to Spore then. Well, that is good information. Let's just go for another Psychic in the off chance he subs. It's like, this is how strategizing works for a lot of the time. Like, you'll get little nuggets of information about what the enemy team is running and how they're gonna like start playing it from what they do initially, and then you're working on the fly to sort of like anticipate everything else. So the fact that he went for Sub first and then followed by a Seed Bomb indicates to me that this command doesn't have Spore. The fact that he switched out there indicates to me that he has like a more offensively based moveset. The fact that he switched out to a Tyranitar means that he might want to be able to set up with this thing now, anticipating something else. And you sure enough he's going to Mega here. Let's get the Toxic off on it, and he's going to Dragon Dance, you see? You just like anticipating this on the fly and how people actually play. Like, it's a very simple thing just by switching, but if you properly strategize it, you can anticipate exactly what they're going to do. And I have a Reflect here as well, which is actually very, very nice. He's probably just going to go for the Dark type attack. I wonder how tanky his Slurpuff is. I mean, we have a Reflect, so let's find out. We have the Toxic off on it, which is very nice. My god. Just like that. You need to have a longer plan, my friends. This will unfortunately happen a bit in random battle just because of the hop in, hop out nature of it. A lot of people will surrender, but you'll still learn a couple little things about Pokemon, and it still will help general strategy. Because like basically you can take it whenever there's like a forfeit play like that, you can kind of take it that if it was like a proper match and your opponent might be panicking at this point, don't take it as them actually forfeiting the game, because a lot of the time that may not be the case. Because it does have that very hop in, hop out nature to it. But you can kind of treat it in that way that like your opponent doesn't really have an answer to this. Like, if they did have an answer to it, they'd probably stick around in the match and switch out to it. They wouldn't just throw in the towel immediately like that. This is a very interesting Spiritomb set, by the way. This man's probably going to set up hazards to no end, so... I mean, I guess this would be a good opportunity to switch in my Gyarados and just Dragon Dance. Yeah, I might as well go for it. You're gonna set up a Spikes? I'm gonna set up a Dragon Dance, my friend. And let's just hope he doesn't have a Whirlwind. And if he doesn't, then we're good. He doesn't if he switched out. Oh my god, but he does have a freaking Primal Groudon, which is problematic because Desolate Land, I believe it evaporates water type attacks. It's like very iffy how this one works. Okay, that's problematic. Anyway, we have to go for an EQ because freaking like Intense Sunshine. There we go. We're still gonna be able to do like a nice little chunk of damage. Precipice Blaze is not gonna deal nearly enough because we've now lost our flying typing. Actually, I believe that's a ground type attack. Oh, he's gonna go back out to the Skarmory. I'd love to have Roost currently, but sadly I don't. I mean, a Waterfall is still going to deal a very, very significant chunk. And the nice thing is we've dealt with this Primal Groudon so much that we can finish it off with something quite readily later. I don't know if that crit mattered. Simply because Mega Gyarados is a bit of a powerhouse. I actually don't know if that mattered. It would have been close. I think it might have been a case of max min damage. I'm considering the fact that it has the burn on it. It's the main reason that it probably didn't matter. Because you have to bear in mind I only had about 60% health because of that. Oh, they're a Toxicroak. Oh, I would love to set up a sub because this guy probably has Sucker Punch. Oh, I'm gonna go out to his Seismitoad. Okay, I'm just gonna keep hitting you then. Probably has Water Absorb, which is something we have to bear in mind. So let's just get as much damage as we can in. He's gonna EQ that, and that's fine. So like now we're in a position where like we can quite readily deal with two things on his team, and we know he has a Toxicroak. So we plan accordingly with this information. And Victini looks like a very strong Pokemon to switch in. There are hazards that we have to deal with, but we do have some very strong tools here. We can get in like a successful U-turn if we like. Blue Flare is particularly nice because even if he switches in the Groudon, that will actually kill him because of the Intense Sunshine. If he switches in the Toxicroak, it'll deal a crap ton of damage. And it will hurt this Seismitoad quite a bit. Now the interesting thing is this reveals this is a special attack in Victini more than anything, just because the first move we revealed is Blue Flare. So he might plan accordingly with this information. It's what you should do if you're like properly trying to strategize it. If this is like a real Pokemon battle and not like an OU one, but not like a random one. Just like standard OU. And like how you'd be like kind of anticipate this information is like, okay, it had a Blue Flare and it was also faster, so no sign of leftovers recovery, so is it scarfed? It's a question you have to ask. And again, it takes a lot of experience to kind of like be able to anticipate these things and properly work them out in your head on the fly as you go like this. But it's the thing that you're just gonna learn from loads and loads of battles. Like the more experience you have, the better you're going to do. So like right here, I know that because because of the increased fire, Blue Flare is still going to be able to do a lot of damage. Harsh Sunlight is definitely going to help there. And because it's hazards, I'm a bit reluctant to switch out. This is probably a Mega Banette. And it might have access to Sucker Punch, which is the only thing, so I should probably switch this time. Just going on what he probably has in this thing. I mean, well, the nice thing is that this Spiritomb kind of shuts down the Banette, I guess. We're not going to be fearful of too much. You can go for the Shadow Claw if he likes. Oh, we're just barely going to live. That actually does matter just a little bit. We're going to have to... let's see. Speed. He's faster. I really want to get the burn off in it, and thinking about it like ahead for the longer game, like my only answer to really deal with this thing is to get some status off in it. And I haven't really got anything to deal with that. So actually you going for the Willow here is better than the rest. Like I know I could actually save the Spiritomb and chance getting the burn later, but it's imperative for me to actually win this game to get the burn on that Banette. So I'm going to prioritize that here instead of actually my Spiritomb. Now, max min damage is going to be very close here. Like it did 40.2%. It could do 42. Oh, and it's just barely going to pull it through. That's unfortunate, but what you gonna do? You gotta take these things as they happen. Okay, so what will be the next course of action? Well, this melodic is actually very nicely slightly faster than it. And we do have access to recover on this. So, I mean, what we could do is just switch into this and just get a Scald off. And what we actually probably want to do is a Dragon Tail first. The reason being is that he's still got the Toxicroak on his team, and we do have to consider this because the Scald is very likely for me to go to. He's going to put on a Willow of his own. I mean, that's fine. I'm just going to switch you out. Okay, and what we have to do is we have to play a little more aggressive against this guy. There's a very likely chance that this guy has a sub. So basically the first move that we go for is the Ice Beam. Just kind of in anticipation of that. Now it has a Life Orb, which is interesting. I'm actually going to want to get some more Life Orb damage off on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay in and just go for another Ice Beam. He's going to restore some health with the Drain Punch, but he's kind of going to go down and not gain too much. See, I think Victini can actually deal with most of his team now. Provided that this last thing isn't something terrible, then he can deal with it. So we're going to go back out to it. Now, a smart thing for him to do is to keep this guy as his win condition and just kind of switch it out. Because I can't switch in this Victini again. It's going to take too much damage next time. So we are now committed to using Blue Flare. Oh, and he's got the Sucker Punch. Okay. Yeah, this man's taught ahead with his game. And he doesn't know what the last two Pokemon are. Unfortunately, the Cofagrius is not going to be able to help me too much. Sucker Punch is gonna hurt. But it's not gonna kill me. It's not gonna kill me, which is what we have to consider. And we do just have to go straight for the Shadow Ball. We can't actually set up because the damage is gonna be quite close to determine if we actually kill this guy. It's very unfortunate. Oh, he's gonna go for the Sword Stance. Oh, he got cocky. Okay, that's actually really good for me because this guy can only live 2 attacks now. So that is very, very nice. The question is, what's he gonna want to do? Now, the thing to consider here is that he can only live 2 attacks, and he's probably very likely going to go for the Sucker Punch to try and kill this guy. So what's actually a better play is to go for the Nasty Plot first. Like, baiting the Sucker Punch, and now he's going to realize that he has to hit me with a Poison Jab, and Poison Jab is very unlikely to actually kill me. So, by making this play, we're actually going to be in a much stronger position. Possibly just go for the Hidden Power, but... yeah, actually, we can go for the Hidden Power quite safely. The only thing is that you might switch into the net. There's actually really nothing that justifies it. We should just go for a Shadow Ball. We'll go for the Sucker Punch now. Unfortunately, he does get a crit, which is actually very unfortunate. That does matter. Because I'm pretty sure I could have lived that. That's horribly unfortunate. All we've got left is Sledian now. And he's very likely just going to go for Sucker Punch immediately. So what we do is we Roost first. We need to capitalize on what we have. We have a Ledian left with Screens. And U-Turn as our only attacking move. I don't think we're going to be able to win this battle simply because he still has that Mega Manette. But it's important to, like, kind of get it out to the end. Do what we can. But yeah, you can see that this man is, like, very clearly kind of won it in the late game now. Just based on what he has. And yeah, that's the main reason I was thinking Roost as well. Because even if he hits me with a type move, he'll kill himself with the Life Orb. Yeah, this is a hopeless cause now, though, unfortunately. Let's set up the Screens. Oh, that's another crit. That crit really mattered there with the Cofagrius, but that was a very good get match all the same. I'm not going to have time to say GG because he's immediately off. But you can see how strategizing really plays into effect with that game. It's like simply put, you have to like anticipate things like the late game and what you're going to be left with. Like, I really need to get status off on that Mega Banette because I knew that I wouldn't have too much of an answer to it. Like, truth be told, like, Victini was my biggest one, and I probably should have bear in mind that it was a Toxicroak and it does have access to Sucker Punch. I let my guard down there and I do apologize. But you can see how important strategizing is just and to consider in team composition as you go through matches like this. You have to work out things on the fly and bear like a checklist of things in the back of your mind, and if you forget them, it can cost you the game. And that's going to be it for this week's Sunday Spotlight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's just one of those videos I wanted to put out because it's an important thing to talk about, and I feel like with Random Battle, you can actually practice this quite well, and you don't need to worry too much if you have the best of teams. It's a good environment for just kind of learning the basics of sort of like competitive Pokemon, because most of the sets that you're actually given here are proper competitive sets. It's not like Challenge Cup where everything is entirely random. You actually do have a semblance of sense with some of the moves, with some of the movesets that you're presented with. And while they might not all work out, it's a good starting basis to kind of work with, and it will help you just sort of winning more battles if you think about it and like try and strategize what you're doing. So that's going to be it for this week's Sunday Spotlight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you at something new soon. Goodbye, and thank you so much for watching.